I'm back. All right, so what just happened was I saw on Twitter Hex Love popped into my notifications, and he says that me and Parkway gave him shit. The amount of hate and vitriol within the Hex community, and I still hold a bunch of Hex. It's still my top holder, but um, these two individuals were very mean to me. So I wrote him back and I said, hey, man, you have Hex Love in your name, which means you're a social representative of Hex. So whenever you come into a Hex room or a Hex and Pulse Chain room, then you should be, a representative excited about Hex, right? But instead it was, I don't know. And that was my ongoing thing with him was, I don't know about setting up a staking ladder with your Hex. Instead, he was going and playing around with Teddy Bear. Hey, man, I'm just fine with that. Whenever I come into Hex room, the cowards ban me, is what Wall to Wall says. Wall to Wall, are you Wall E over there? On like I gotta get my stuff correct. Wall to Wall in my comments right now. Are you Wall E? Because I'm responding to what you said earlier, and you Wall E was tagging Eco Builder, myself, and TrapGravity came in for the gangbang, for the beat up, and Hex Love as well. So I'm see, no thanks, not me. Okay, cool. Wall to Wall, glad to have you here. I do know our conversations through chat here in the past. Sweet. So they ban you whenever you come into Hex rooms. What Hex rooms are you talking about? Are you using Telegram or are you talking about Spaces or what? All right, guys. So I'm not an asshole. I am not an overbearing person. I just want to be respected for what it is that I offer. And I have my limits of offering. I think that I do a good job of saying like showing my boundaries. But I've been a friend of TrapGravity, and I've banned him 3 times. I have banned him from my cell phone and Twitter stuff. Now, I think that he is a person who is watching this channel often, and he might be one of the people that are watching it right now. I don't know. But the deal is that I attempted to, and you guys know this, I listened to other people's wants, and one of his wants was he wants 1,000,000 Hex. He so badly just wants to be able to have in his grasp 1,000,000 Hex. And I heard him talk about himself so much, about how he's always a straightforward guy, always honest, and wants the best for me inside the community. Well, eventually his manipulation or whatever worked on me, because I'm now calling him my biggest scammer. The biggest scammer in our community for me is the person who claims he's going after other scammers, and he buddies up with people inside the community and tricks them into thinking that he's a good person. I hate doing this fucking video. Finbear told me, don't do a video about Trap and the recorded spaces that I have from months ago, whenever it is that I recorded me getting down to the bottom of shit whenever Trap would vacate the room in fear of being exposed. So over time, warms up to me again. I unblock him, and then he starts calling me names again. So then I'm done with it. I'm absolutely done with it. So what am I even? So right now, I just read some comments from people, and people are saying that I'm shutting them down and I'm manipulated towards them, manipulative. Guys, I don't know what the future is going to be. I just recommend you have hex ladder stakes. You know, fuck around with whatever you're going to do. Just, of course, don't try to shill shit, you know, in hex spaces that's not hex stuff. But it would be safe and wise to get your hex stakes if it is that you believe in the same stuff that I do, if you believe in the same leaders that I do. We don't know what the future is going to be exactly. So my issue with Trap, besides this fucking long list of bullshit that he's made me think about, as the narcissist that he is, throwing changing subjects all the time. You try to, you know how you've got somebody in an argument and you pin them down, and then they're just like, oh, well, I'm just going to maneuver over here. Example is, I said, hey, Trap, have you read Richard Hart's self-help book? Self-help, like working on yourself, making you a better person. Have you read his self-help book called Sci-Vive? You know what he did? Immediately, SJ is the biggest scammer. Her looks are this or that. He starts going off on the way the girl looks. What? SJ has nothing to do with Richard creating it. Richard created Sci-Vive long before that. It's a self-help book. Who would be more appropriate to read the self-help book than hexicans? I was pissed off the last few days, or the initial day. Now I'm over it. I just want to fucking respond and have it to where Trap's watching this shit. So yeah, I just did a stream, and I've got dinner waiting for me on the stove behind me. And I could read out all these flaws that I know about Trap, including information pandering, where he gets close to people and gets them to open up and takes their personal information, secrets, and passes them on to the next person in order for them to warm up to him and pass on their secrets. So I've got some shit that's come into my ears. I noticed what he was doing, and so I didn't release information myself about me, but he released information about other people. So I could easily go to other people and say, hey, he told me this about you. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But however you feel about that, don't direct it towards me. Instead, direct it towards him, because he's the one who shared your personal information with other people in order to manipulate them to soften up, to open up, and give more information. It's a manipulative tactic by people who are narcissistic. And the narcissistic stuff was what was going to be on the live stream that I never did, or live stream or video or whatever, that Finbear advised me not to do. Because why continue to drive this sort of stuff? But then we go back again, a whole nother time of Trap insulting me. And insulting, I told him to his face, it's abuse. And well, on the phone or voice or whatever, I told him it's abuse. And he makes fun of me for that word. He's like, what is this? What sort of pansy are you calling out abuse? Yeah, that's, I'm comfortable saying that abuse is abuse. I can call it out. But if you go and ask AI, what are the traits of a narcissist, you'll get a good list of things. And I pretty much have a story for each one of those. Pretty much. I do, sadly. Now, how much do you bury a guy whenever it is that he's doing this to you? I don't know. But the other day, whenever we were inside Twitter Spaces, I got to the point where, like, I've made this list. I got to the point where I'm fed up with it. I'm going to start reading this list. So all of these things are true about Trap. So it's not a true or false situation. Instead, every one of these little bullet points are true. And so I started reading them off inside the space. I think the space was unrecorded. It was El Hexicano space. I got one DM from somebody who said, I think he had like an African accent, and he said that he told Trap as well as myself in DMs. That was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting space. He was just like, that was so unprofessional. You guys need to do better. And I told him straight up, I came into the room, didn't have a mic yet, and the guy starts calling me names. And so I get a mic and I just start blasting him because I'm tired of it. I'm absolutely tired of it. And after it is that I explained to that guy in DMs later on that evening or the next day, I explained to him the whole background and stuff. He totally respects me. And I started to realize that I mentioned to you guys in the last little live stream is that I've got a target on me. I am somebody that people are attempting, like Trap, are attempting to shoot at in order to make themselves feel better, to make themselves feel like they're doing something. Why the fuck are you going after me? I'm always saying, hey, let's build together. But what are you building by tearing me down? The one person that you actually admire inside of Hexico, what are you gaining? Nothing. You're certainly aren't surpassing me, I guess. So I'm a figure, I'm a little statue inside of Hex, and people who don't have their shit together are attempting to make it to where they want to damage me and climb on top of me and think that it's fun. You're psycho. Do better. I'm still willing to help in some way, except for Trap. I'm pretty much done with Trap. If there was a funeral tomorrow, I wouldn't do anything. I'm done with it. It's been guys, it's been 3 times. that this person has insulted me to the point where I don't want to hear from them. And this is what this person does in their life. This is the people around them, their living situation. This is what it is. But they have a voice online. They know how to manipulate people in order to hold a space in influencing people. So if you're a young man without a father figure, you might be influenced by them. All right. So, where am I going to go with this? So like my final like dagger to the heart the other day. Well, I've got more. I've got more in my toolbox, but my final dagger the other day was that he cried on the phone after it was that I discontinued our working agreement where he was going to be on this channel earning 10,000 hex per episode in order to reach 1,000,000 hex eventually. So what is that? 100 streams, you reach 1,000,000? And this was, no matter like at that point, hex was like 1.8 cents. Therefore, times 10,000, that's $180 I was paying him per stream. The agreement was going to continue no matter where the price went, because I had set aside the 1,000,000 hex. I did the same thing for Kef, Hex Kef, but that's besides the point. We're talking about Trap right now. Because Trap is the one who's butthurt and continues to come after me. And continues to insult me. And call me names and make up shit. Say that I did things that I didn't do. And for some reason I feel like I have to defend myself. And it's kind of funny that I have a platform to defend myself and to broadcast these things. Hell, this might even be my best fucking viewed video. I might even broadcast this more than my other ones. Like, put some funding behind this just to tell everybody that TrapGravity, out of all the scammers in all of crypto, TrapGravity happens to be my biggest scammer. So no matter if the price went up from 1.8 cents, I was still going to pay him 10,000 hex per episode. So imagine if the price went to 10 cents from there, which it didn't. It came down, and now we re-met 1.8 cents, and we're sitting at 2 cents now. But imagine if it went to 10 cents, then I would be paying Trap $1,000 per stream, which is one hell of a thing, right? And I was fine with doing that, and I was going to do it. Now, once I realized that I would be just gifting somebody quite a bit of money, then I was like, hey, in order for us to have this agreement, you need to stake it whenever it is that I give it to you. And that was agreed upon. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. So every time I paid him, he would stake it. Then I'd pay him more. He would stake it. And I think we did that 3 times. I'm not sure. And the same thing with Murder Sauce, who is HexCaf. Okay. So, and then also I made the offer to a buddy of mine, and he made me one video, and I paid him as well. And him and his wife got wrapped up in some other stuff, busy life, and so they got distracted that way. And then I ended up canceling the situation with Trap and Hexkef over here. So what did I want to say? My biggest thing, this is my biggest thing, is he is complaining. Trap is complaining about a video that, because he insulted me, I am not allowing to be available anymore. I moved it over to private. And I might oughta just delete the damn thing so that we never have this conversation again, or so that it's never available again. But supposedly I have nothing to do with this video. However, I own the keys of it. I was in the background. I did the artwork for it. I did everything but click the little button to bring my face and voice up on the screen. But the thing is that this was a year ago. This was a fucking year ago. Why don't you make another one? Why don't you do your own thing? Why are you pointing at me and telling me that I'm stopping you from doing anything? Go fucking do it yourself. Whenever I pin him on that thing, he's going to say, oh, well, I'm not going to shill your crypto. Don't rely on me to shill your crypto, bitch. It's your crypto too. We're part of the same community. I don't care what you shill. But for you to tell me what to do with my channel and insult me as I'm paying you, that ain't going to work out. With our two zodiacs, not to lose anybody in the weeds, I'm Cancerian, he's Capricorn. One of us has to take the back seat. Okay? I'm mature enough to take the back seat and to supplement where it is that it's needed in the working relationship, right? But this dumbass starts fucking insulting me. He called me all sorts of names. And then at the end of the phone call, he says, let's convene tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Bitch, you think I'm just going to let that go? Hell no. Fuck you. So we hang up the phone. I figure out in my head, you got to stand up for yourself. You got to have boundaries. Otherwise, you're just inviting people to walk all over you. And I'm serious about that. It's not just like I'm thinking about it. It's straight up. It is a emotional thing. If you ask demons to come into your life, then you're going to pay. So if you allow people to do actions upon you, you better watch out for what comes around and how your body starts to mold to being the subordinate in that situation. But like I said subordinate right now, and I had taken backseat in helping out the situation, or in helping the working relationship. But I'm also the guy who's paying for the situation. I'm creating the artwork. I'm paying for the streaming software. I had sent equipment over to this guy's house, as well as Kef's, in good faith and everything. And he just crossed the line. He absolutely crossed the line. So the next day, whenever he wakes up, he checks his messages, and there I am saying, this isn't going to work anymore. I'm going to pay you out and everything, but we're not going to go forward with this. And eventually I get him crying on the phone as if he was one of my girlfriends that I had just broken up with, and she needed confirmation that she was still worthy. You know that type of crying? You know that type of emotion? Where a girl needs to be secured in her emotions. Like, yeah, we can still talk on the phone, but I don't want to be with you anymore. I got to do my own thing. Sorry, babe. Yeah, he was fucking crying. Now, I told the Twitter Spaces this the other night because I'm fed up. I went through this fucking list. I'm fed up. And Magic Carpet Ride was in there, and lately he's been taking a liking to trap, and I think he just likes loose relationships that favor him personally, because Magic Carpet has his own coins and exchange or something. I'm not sure. I mean, Trap used to talk shit about him all the time, but not anymore because they're buddy. And so Magic Carpet Ride said, "Oh, dude, that's harsh. Dude, that's harsh. You went deep, man. That's almost inappropriate." I'm like, "Yeah, well, this guy's been calling me names. Are you not listening? Are your ears plugged whenever this guy talks shit? I'm just returning fire. Like, I guess y'all have more what is it? I guess y'all just think that I'm a fucking statue with a fucking target on my back, and that I'll just take whatever," which is absolute bullshit. All right, so what else? And yes, I do have more fucking ammo trap whenever it is that you're interested in continuing this little war in order to gain status. I've got more info. But hey, man, I'm preoccupied. Like, I'm actually doing stuff other than, just Twitter Spaces. But it's been a fucking year, guys. It's been a year. You could have re-recorded. You could have done whatever. Record something. Put it around the world. Post it everywhere you want to. You could have done it. It's been a fucking year. And whenever it is that it's 2 years, I'm going to point back to that and say, hey, it's been 2 years. What the hell have you been doing? You just want to use it as ammo to say that somebody stopped you. Hold me back. Grabbing somebody's arm. Hold me back. Hold me back. I'm going to go after him. I'm going to get him. Hold me back. It's lousy. It's absolutely lousy. All right. If you're interested in this video, you better fucking download it, because I might delete it. I don't know. But if you're a young man out there, don't allow this narcissist, this manipulator, into your DMs, because he's pretty smooth. He's gotten around his life in this fashion. This is what he does. He is a beast of the jungle. His life looks like shit altogether, but this is how he survives. I think I've covered everything besides the ammo that I have left. And yeah, so Hex Love and Wall E and TrapGravity over there on Twitter. They have a total of 1 like on their comment. That is going after me for being a bad Hexagon, I guess. So my reply to Hex Love was, hey, do you remember when it is that I asked you to do a marketing letter for Hex? And he wrote it. It took a little while, which I respect. It maybe like took a week or two, and he sent it to me in DMs, and I wrote his wording from a Hex letter that he wrote himself. I wrote it out handwritten, and then I scanned it into the computer, and then I put it onto the website that is right here. So if you want to see Hex Love's letter, I have it right here. And that's my representation of respect and collaboration. And I know the guy's a smart guy. He uses big words. He uses big thoughts. So this might blow your mind. I apologize for teasing you about being in other coins in the timing that you were in those coins. But I was most definitely pointing at how we don't know the future, and the best bet is to have a staking ladder going out into the future. How you want to play your game in order to acquire more Hex for this bull market, in order to benefit yourself, that's up to you and stuff. But when you're inside of a Hex space and your name is Hex Love, you should be excited for Hex. And the explanation that we got about the reason why he had Hex Love as his name is like, we should adore that, because he goes into other people's spaces, like B Roots' spaces, talking about Teddy Bear, and he's got Hex Love in his name, and therefore it's an advertisement, it's a billboard constantly for Hex. And love is a positive word, right? It's not even a neutral word. It's not a negative word. It's a positive word. Great. So yeah, I hope that you recognize that I did put effort into captivating, or what is it? Capturing the time period with this letter, and gave you credit by putting it, and respected you by putting it on the website, because that's a part of collaboration, building together. Guys, I've been called the narcissist. Like whenever I called Trap a narcissist, and he finally figures out what a narcissist is, because he didn't even know the fucking word in the beginning. He then calls me a narcissist. I've read the key points of what a narcissist is. I don't fit them. And that brings me to another idea is whenever you do self-help, you come to realize that every argument that you have upon the actions of someone else, upon what it is that you hate about someone else, subconsciously, that's actually you telling yourself, I recognize those things because I have those things. When you look at somebody and you want to tear them down for what it is that they're doing, what's inside of their life, there's actually a mirror right there. And you're easily able to find that back inside of yourself. The only reason why you know that that person is doing that stuff is because you yourself are doing it at some level. I've done a lot of work on myself. And I think I mentioned it during the last live stream. That was just an hour and a half ago. Don Luis Miguel, The Four Agreements. Read the book. It's a thin one. I've got it over here on my shelf, but it's very, very popular. And I know some of you, like, big, strong guys are going to say, oh, self-help. So I'm too good for self-help. Whatever. But yeah, if you complain about somebody else, you're able to see those things because you have a bit of it in your side yourself. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Wall to Wall says that he's banned from every hex streamer on YouTube, basically. But I don't care. Only come to vent. Haha. Yeah, that's why you're banned. Because you just want to vent on people while they're doing a stream. So imagine if there's more than one wall-to-wall venting inside the comments. It's kind of hard to keep up with. People might be quick to ban. You know, it's a funny thing. I think at some point I said something negative inside of the RG3's streams, the Discourse Syndicate. So where, like, whenever I type something into the FN Hangout, it doesn't show up. So I'm muted in some way. Maybe Finbear could help me out with that. Finbear is the one who got me unbanned from Hex Crypto, the original Telegram, because I got banned for asking something. And then I just allowed it to be. I was just like, whatever, not the place for me. And then he and I created the Hex Foodies Hex Guild thing, and we got to talking, and he was like, oh, I can get you unbanned. But yeah, wall to wall, like, there's just so many people, and yeah, I've experienced negativity from you before, so I don't doubt it. Don't doubt it at all. All right. So yeah, guys, be careful who you hang out with, who you interact with. Trap's my biggest scammer. I know he's watching. I would put the link out, but it'd just be more drama of why it is that he didn't get the link. And I've already banned from everything because I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I'm done. Three times. What is that saying where it's fool me once, shame on me? No. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And then I get allowed a third time. But yeah. Also, Trap would be quite proud of me for getting so fucking pissed off and being a little bit entertaining. A little bit on edge. What bitch? What bitch? All right. Cheers, guys. I got supper waiting for me and it's getting cold. Trap, fuck you.